Hi. Today we are going to discuss about minimum viable product. Because as in whenever we are working on the agile environment, once we have identified the product goal and vision, all that, so release planning will be made. So whatever the release planning we do and all, so prior to that, it's always important for us to understand the minimum viable product. This is where generally, in short, we call it as MVP is all about. So based on the MVP, we come to know what customer want, to what extent we can deliver, right? So to have a connect between these two, it's always important for us to have an MVP, which is called minimum viable product. So we have to make sure customer expectation versus the reality of development, what we do, right? We need to have a balance, equal balance between these two things. So it's always important so that hence, especially when we are connecting with the confluence with Jira confluence connect, we have multiple templates available for different purposes, for sprint planning, sprint review, even for design decisions. At the same time, even for MVPs, all that regard. So here we are going to discuss about the MVP part, how and what is this to be created. Here we need to mention the kind of problem, right? So what is to be solved, right? So we need to define the problem. So what is to be solved over here? So in this regard, I've taken a project of core banking. So let me explain you what exactly core banking to the people, whoever has not an idea, having any idea. Core banking is one kind of backend uh, banking application will be managed by the backend team. So all the customer operations and all everything will be managed in the backend by the core banking part. Here we need to write down the problem first, right? So we need to define the problem. So problem solve, right? So first we need to write down the problem. Problem is to streamline all the backend operations on day-to-day basis. Within bank. Okay, this is where generally the problem which we are supposed to solve. Now, when we are trying to understand about the solution part, MVP part, here we need to write down the broader context wherein to define the MVP, right? So what is the minimum viable product and what are the broad concepts to be focused on? So here we need to write down the broader concepts of MVP. Broader concepts like create a transparent process of managing customer activities. Right. The second point, define the standard responsibilities each team has to follow to manage backend operations. Okay, I'm just mentioning few on this, right? So here, this is very generally. Now here we need to specify who are the targeted specific groups. Banks and financial institutions. Okay, so these are the people who will be targeting, right? So these are banks, financial institutions. All these people are comes into the target market people because core banking is being used by them there. Next, what kind of value proposition are you going to provide, right? So what will be the unique selling proposition are we going to provide? so that simplifying the operational activity that will be simplifying the operational activity which team has to perform. Okay. Reducing the operational difficulty. Reducing the operational difficulty and complexity. So these are the major USPs any financial institution wants to achieve, right? So because they want to reduce the operational difficulty while they are managing a lot of operations in the bank. At the same time, complexity, they want to reduce it. This is where generally this value proposition, right? So where we need to enumerate the ESP, right? So unique selling proposition of MVP is what something we have to be updated in this. Next, it's at the same time, we need to identify the current competitors who are in the market, right? So why the product doesn't have the product? It's because competitor analysis, right? So when we are developing a core banking application, we have to make sure who are our competitors in the market. Again, it is depends on the targeted market we are, right? So are we planning domestic market? Are we targeting national or international market? Depends on the kind of product you are developing. So core banking is a product you're developing. Let's say, for example, who are our target competitors or targeted market customers? So based on that, actually, we need to write down all the names, right? So whoever are the competitors for us. Let's say we are developing a core banking as a product. As in when we are targeting the domestic market, for example, who are the domestic players, other competitors who are providing core banking? What is the name of their product? Because for every product, there will be a name. And what are SWOT analysis? I can say strength, weakness, all that stuff, pros and cons. What are the benefits that product is having, and uh, what are the negatives in that product, right? What they are not offering. Negatives means what they are not offering. So that based on that, how and what must be the USP will be decided. That's the reason why ESP I have taken. So ESP, we here, these are the two ESPs we are taken, doesn't mean this is based on the observation we have made on the competitor analysis, right? So based on the competitor analysis, this is what something which normally we do. So this sort of understanding is what something essentially required. So when we are working on agile projects, especially for the team people, right? So either it is in connect to the role of a product owner or it's connecting to the role of a scrum master or a scrum team or something like. So understanding the minimum viable product is what something which is important and which we have to be defined so that whatever required for the customer can be reached by us effectively. This is how generally minimum viable product is what something which normally we create, right? So when we are working on Agile, especially using Jira Confluence, this is how generally this document, and if you are publishing this, this can be viewed by the team members who are in the team. So those people can see this document, this MVP document. Based on that, development will be taking place in coming days. That's how it is. So this is all about this video. If you have any questions, if you have any queries, please reach out to the contact details, which will be posted in the this video. Thank you.